Writing an essay body paragraph can sometimes seem a little tricky, but the big thing to remember is, just like an essay introduction, an essay body paragraph has a consistent structure that you need to stick to, and knowing this structure can help take some of the guesswork out of the essay writing process. So to help you, here are 6 golden rules to follow when writing an essay body paragraph. Rule number 1, clearly state the topic of the paragraph. Always start each new paragraph off by clearly introducing the topic of the paragraph to the reader. Now the rule here is that each paragraph should have only one topic, and you need to tell the reader what that topic is right from the very start. That way you're signposting to them what you're going to be talking about. Now this is the what part of your paragraph. Rule number 2, provide more specific details about the topic. Next, you're going to provide a bit more context for the reader by giving them some more specific detail about the topic. Now this might involve providing some further explanation about the topic, such as giving a definition, or more clearly explaining how the topic of the paragraph links into the essay topic. By contextualizing the topic, what you're doing is giving the reader a bit more information about the paragraph and what you're going to be talking about, while also showing the reader how it relates to the essay topic. Rule 3, state your topic argument and justify it with evidence. Now here is where you're going to be describing to the reader precisely what you're going to be arguing in relation to the topic, and then justifying this argument with research evidence. Now appropriate evidence to use in an academic essay includes scholarly sources of literature and information that are preferably peer-reviewed. It's also important to remember that new research is being published all of the time, so it's really important that you're accessing and utilising the most recent sources of evidence. Rule number 4, present contradictory evidence wherever possible. To avoid presenting a completely one-sided view of your argument, it's always good whenever you can to highlight some findings that might contradict your argument. Now, by doing this, not only are you highlighting to the reader the breadth of your research on the topic, you're also giving them a more balanced view of the argument to consider. Rule number 5, clearly articulate the so what factor. At the end of each of your paragraphs, it's really important that you highlight the so what factor for the reader. So this is where you're showing them how the argument you've presented in the paragraph relates to your overall argument in your essay. Now, if you remember, your overall argument or thesis statement is the one that you presented at the end of your introduction. Now, it's really important that you tell your reader why they've just read the information that they have in the paragraph. By doing this, you're showing them how the topic of your paragraph and the argument you've presented goes on to support the point of view that you're developing throughout your essay. Rule number 6, make the link. Ensure that you're using transition and linkage words and phrases to connect each of your paragraphs to ensure a smooth flow of information throughout your essay. Now, if you read your essay out loud and it sounds a little bit disjointed, then it's highlighting to you that you haven't provided enough linkage between your paragraphs. Now, when you're writing this down, you can provide those linkages right at the very end of your paragraph, or perhaps at the start of the paragraph that follows, wherever it's going to make the most sense. Here are some other important tips to consider when writing an essay body paragraph. Tip 1. As a rough guide, try to limit your paragraphs to between 150 and 250 words. Now this isn't set in stone, but it's a good rule of thumb for you to try to stick to help you manage your word count. Tip number 2. Never start a paragraph with a quote. Direct quotations should be used sparingly and for emphasis only to help aid your explanation. They should not be used to introduce a topic. Tip number 3. Avoid 1 to 2 sentence paragraphs. If your paragraph is this short, then it is not doing all the things that a body paragraph needs to do. So let's have a look at an example now to see the 6 golden rules in action. We'll look at a sample paragraph that's been written for the following essay topic. Discuss the factors that contribute to successful student academic performance at university. So looking at this paragraph, we can see that the first sentence introduces the reader to the topic of the paragraph, which in this example is cognitive ability. Here is where the what part of the paragraph is identified for the reader. The next sentence provides more context for the reader by offering more information about the topic. In this example, cognitive ability is defined so that the reader can better grasp how it relates to the essay topic. The next couple of sentences demonstrate what is being argued in relation to the topic. Here, it's being argued that cognitive ability predicts academic success and performance. Research evidence from scholarly literature is then presented to justify this argument. The next sentence presents contradictory evidence to the reader to ensure a more balanced argument is offered. Here, research evidence is provided which indicates that cognitive ability is not always a reliable predictor of academic performance and success. By acknowledging the presence of contrary findings, the essay writer avoids presenting a solely one-sided argument and demonstrates to the reader the breadth of the research that's been undertaken on the topic. The final sentence provides that so what factor to the reader by explaining how the topic relates to the thesis statement or overall argument of the essay. Here, it's highlighted that based on the evidence provided, cognitive ability, the topic of the paragraph, is an important predictor of academic success, the topic of the essay. It's also made clear, however, that while important, it's not the only factor shown to influence performance. This provides an opening to link the paragraph to the next one to ensure a smooth flow of ideas. Here we see that the first sentence of the next paragraph provides a smooth link between the previous paragraph and the one that is to come. The previous paragraph ended by signposting to the reader that cognitive ability is not the only important factor in predicting academic success. The essay writer ensures a smooth link here by connecting this thread, starting the next paragraph saying that, therefore, there is research interest in the non-cognitive factors that influence success. This clearly and smoothly leads into the topic of the current paragraph, ensuring a cohesive flow and connection of ideas. So next time you need to write a body paragraph, take some of the guesswork out of the process and remember to follow these 6 golden rules.